Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's the Champions League. It's the playoffs. Not only is it the playoffs, it's the grand finals. The cherry on top, the moment we've all been waiting for, the day of reckoning. I'm Kronos JJ, and I'm pretty excited. I've been working all weekend, been looking forward to this. Here we are. The grand finals, best of 5. A winner gets $500, a loser 250. So is anyone really a loser? And it should be fun. Kimo, King Kimo the Frenchman, has won every event that me and Boyd have put together. He won the Bill Greg Open. He won Champions League Season 1. He's trying to make a three-peat. His opponent, Skady, from Brazil, spent the last week, I think, training in the depths of the Amazon jungle, and he has emerged with a new form of martial arts specifically designed to destroy Kimo. Will it work? I don't know. So far, Skady has finished top in our previous events, but not quite top enough. He was third in the Bill Greg Open, which he lost to Kimo. 3-2 actually there. And he was fourth in the Champions League Season 1. So Skady's always been close, but not quite close enough. France versus Brazil, a nice set of maps. Savannah, Calm Shores. I think that's a good map. Frozen Wastes, maybe. Alfheim, it's all right. And then Watering Hole, I think it'll be fun. So before it gets too late and everybody gets bored, let's just jump right into the action. We've got a few people, Nyan Racing Cat, saying, and not this. He's trying to unpsych me. Unhype is what I call that. Not having it. I'm hyped. It's going to be fun. Best of 5. Grand finals. Almost the complete end of the stream here, because I do and will get in the third place match. No spoilers about that either, because I'm going to stream that later this week. So, got 5 games here. There may or may not be 5 games. My guy always gives me 5. So, Nyan, Cameron, Oranos, good to have you on board. I think there's another name. Let me see. Dragon AoM also here. So, good to have you guys with me. We should be live. We should be ready to go. We should be ready to have some fun champion final. I stayed away from the results all day today. I'm so proud of myself. Here we go. Game number 1 on Savannah. Ra versus Oranos. About what I expected. Nothing too surprising here. You've got your Brazilian in the top. You're cheering for him. I saw in the comments we had a few people cheering for Brazil at the end of our last match with Skady. So here he is. Here's your hero. Your hero in red. Skady as Oranos. And the bottom, Kimo, our champion, reigning champion. Maybe the guy you love to hate because he's too good. Keeps winning. He's in blue, and he is Ra, currently tussling with a rhinoceros. And he will get it off, really getting some building blocks here, garrisoning a villager. Meanwhile, all Skady did was just lure this rhino into his town center and then punish it accordingly. I feel like Skady's are maybe a little bit closer to his town center, which is a little bit better because then, yes, the town center can help shoot. So, yeah, a little bit of help here. Okay, so it's Savannah. It's an open map. And, ooh, on a map like Savannah, what you always look for are the gold mines. Is this villager runs all the way back. There he goes. Because that's the big thing when you're facing an Oranos, especially as Egyptian, is how do you get your second gold mine? And it's not an easy one to get. You got one here, which is close, but it's forward. And then the other one is on the other side of this tree line, which makes it pretty risky to get to. Like, this town center doesn't help at all. The hunt also in a really bad spot on the other side of this tree line, so that's rough. And then the other hunt spot, the low hunt Savannah. It's 3 giraffe right here. So not much, not good. And let me make sure everything's looking good. It is. And Don Hardy with a question while we're having kind of a slowdown here. Has the game been balanced? It has been. Rebalanced. Is it better balanced? Yes. Is it perfect? No. Who is the best? You will get a lot of different answers on that. Egyptian is still top level. I did check his hunt. Right here. But Egyptian is still top level. But it has been... What? What's wrong with his huntingville? I'm confused. I think it's alright. You're getting me distracted here. Well, what you do have to watch out for, since they are low hit points, is that the rhino, I don't know why it is, but tends to target... Uh-oh. Oh, man. The first kill of the grand finals is a rhinoceros. So maybe we should put $50 in the pot for the rhinoceros, because he deserves it. So the first kill of the series, the rhino. Oh man, that hurts too, because that was not something that needed to happen. But Don Hardy, to answer your question real quick, try to anyway, is that yes, there have been a number of fan patches that have been released for the original game. Most of them were kind of released actually under my, I guess, overall direction, you could say. It's helped a lot. It's not perfect. I mean, the problem is whenever you have fan patches is that everybody has a different idea of what the fan patch should do. So how do you please everyone? You can't. You're working with limited data, so it's kind of hard. But balance is a lot better than what it used to be. In fact, in this tournament, we've seen all the way through the semifinals every culture being used. Now, there's still some gods that are kind of bad. Egyptian is still pretty solid. Would we say Egyptian is like definitively the best? I don't know. Sometimes it depends. You have one very good player like Kimo who plays a lot more than everyone else and is probably better. You could argue that he could play any god and would make it look the best. So it's hard to say, but Ra is still good. Oranos is still good. In this matchup on this map, I would say Oranos has the advantage here. Kimo also with a very slow advance. This is going to be a tough map for Kimo to win. I don't know why his advance is quite as slow as it is. You can see he's really worried about his gold mine, which is forward, and we see the very standard 430 advance for Oranos. You've got... Oh, wait. Double counter barracks. This is a little bit non-standard. I think it's maybe because the hunt isn't super great, potentially. So these are double counter barracks for double Terma. Usually you would see counter barracks, military barracks for Terma Murmillo. But no, just double Terma. Which, I don't have a problem with it. That actually used to be the meta back in the olden days. And it worked pretty decently back then. Now, of course, the game has changed quite a bit since then. But it can work. Now, Kimo's advance is super, super slow. He's building a box here to protect his town center. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Nyan, is because it's low hunt Savannah, which it really is. With the 3 giraffe spawn, I do think that the pure Terma is better because you're going to want to be falling back to your town centers pretty quickly here. But yeah, this really slow advance I think is going to be super hard for Kimo, and I'm not sure why it's so slow. There's really no reason for it. With two rhinos, it's almost like he did it on purpose. But like with 2 rhinos, oh, he's got to watch out. Oh, I like this shockwave as long as he kills this villager. And Yetzer. I like that. You might say, killed one villager. I think killing a villager this early. Oh, man. And the Wadgets spawn on the wrong side of the temple. Has to use a shifting sands, and the wall isn't even done. This is some uncharacteristic Kimo mistakes here. Rhinoceros kills a villager. The Wadget spawns on the wrong side of the temple, trying to get a second town center. This is not right. This is not good. Oh, no, this isn't going to work. I don't know why you would be doing this. This is disaster right here. This could be the game. It is the game. Oh, man. To lose game one like this. Wow. I don't say this often, but I could have put up a better fight than Kimo here. It just all comes to the build here. I don't know why. Very quick game one. So Skady first blood, but I have no idea why we're seeing a 556 classical, even with the villager kill. No, you got to do 5 minutes regardless. I think here. Yeah, this is just a build order loss. Like, with 2 rhino in your base and goats, there's no reason to age up that slowly. Like, I just don't understand what the... Oh, and he even had the Osberg wagon for 25% cheaper caravan. I mean, that's really good late game if you get there. But yeah, this was a rough start here. I mean, it's basically just a free win. That's what it is. I mean, Skady literally had to do like nothing, and he won. All he did was just advance and then make Terma. So wow, I did not expect this from our reigning champion. We'll move on to game number 2. Man, maybe this will be a quick series, but game number 2 is on a new map. We'll get into it when we start playing it. But game number 2 on Calm Shores, and we've got Kimo is staying as Ra, and Skady. This is what it makes him pretty dangerous, is he can play many different gods. And he's playing Zeus. And yes, we do all have those games sometimes, but normally Kimo does not. And that's what makes him so good, is like he's consistently like so good. Like he consistently doesn't make mistakes, and that's why he consistently wins these tournaments. So to see that mistake like that is big. And both players are looking for their fish. So yeah, we're going to see a dock here. And Kimo isn't finding fish, but you know there's going to be fish in these little ponds over here, so you might as well just make it. Yeah, it's going to be there. But Calm Shores. Yeah, this is way too much walking. I mean, you got 50 gold dock. Just build it. But Calm Shores, it's a new map. This is what we've got here. Yeah, see. Yeah, this is weird. You just build it and go. But Calm Shores. Let's get back to Calm Shores. It's a pretty new map. In fact, I think this is only the second game in like a competitive tournament that's been played on this map. So it's pretty much brand new. Now, the players aren't like blindsided by these. The map set is all predetermined for the entire map set. It's determined a week ahead of time. So they had all week to look at these maps. So if someone isn't prepared for it, it's all their fault. They know what the map was coming into it. So yeah, it's pretty simple here. I mean, you've got your pond on the bottom, your pond on the top. Gold mines will all be forward here. There is actually the potential for like a side gold mine, which we really didn't get. So this could be kind of scary based on where the gold mines are. You could potentially get gold blocked pretty quickly, especially playing against a Zeus. Now, the one thing about this map that is very important is that it's perfectly mirrored. There is one asterisk with that, but it's mirrored. So everything you see on your half of the map is exactly mirrored on the opposite. So I know there's some people that love the mirrored concept. There's some that hate it. I think it's fine in limited amounts. It does change substantially how the game kind of plays, in a way, because, you know, now at the beginning, every player knows, Kimo knows where Skady's gold mine is. As Kimo scouts his half of the map, he knows exactly where the stuff is on the other half. So you really only have to scout one half of the map. The one thing I've noticed that is not mirrored are where the relics are placed, because obviously this relic is not mirrored with this one. It's close, but not quite. Speaking of relics, we got the Ilsberg wagon again, which makes caravans cheaper and move faster. And the other relic is shingles of steel, which makes houses stronger. I will note the one thing I do like about this map is that trade routes are not very good. Because I feel like trade routes, generally speaking, in this game are too strong. I think late game trade routes, late game, early game trade routes really take away part of the strategical aspect of the game, which is gold mines. Because once Mythic rolls around, your trade, as long as you have a decent trade route, is better than mining. So that's another thing I like about this map. As far as the meta, like how do you play it? I don't know. I mean, with a new map like this, it's hard to say which god would be the best, worst, or otherwise. I mean, do you fight for both sides of the water? Do you just are you content to just take one side? It looks like to me, Skady is going to build a dock up here and send his initial Minotaur, I'm guessing, up here, is what I think. I'm assuming he's going to go Athena. Yes. So that tells me he's going to send a Minotaur up here. This villager... this villager's already injured. 4 hit points taken on her. So he actually can't fight this villager here. What do these guys play? Oh, what do you mean by that? These guys... Kimo primarily plays Ra, but he's played some Hades. And Skady plays a variety of gods. We've seen Zeus, Loki, Oranos, and yeah, this other villager comes in to only have one dock built. This is a problem for Kimo. Yeah, Kimo is mostly Zeus. I like the path blocking here. Oh, here comes another villager, but Kimo is not even aging yet. Another super slow age up. That worries me. He's also got 3 villagers up here. Gotta watch out for this one. Oh, pull back with the one. Nice, nice. And these 2, and here comes the Minotaur, and this is not looking good for Kimo already in this game. I mean, he's got docks down here, so it's not over. But to only have one dock built on the top is a bit of a problem. This is the Titans expansion. This is played on a third-party site called Voobly. I know people used to play Age of Empires 3 on Voobly. Kind of. But, whew. Man, to lose 2 villagers without killing any of Skady's, that's not good. And now Skady, because only one dock came up. Well, here comes the second one. Only 2 docks, not super well placed. So this water is going to be Skady's. And we can see Kimo is not even up yet. 6 minutes and not up. That is a slow advance. Well, 5:55 is now up. And what does Kimo do? Does he make boats up here? I think you just give this side up and you try to attack this bottom. Grabbing a second town center? I don't like this play. Because think about it. Fishing ships are kind of a villager in a way. They're not quite as good, but they're pretty good. So by building a town center is basically saying he is not going to get on the fish down here. or at least not soon, because you can't support fish. You know, you can't support cabinets and town center at the same time, at least not. It'll come, but not right away. And my argument is that you might as well just win this side of water, or at least try. And the differential between the fishing ships he loses and the fishing ships you gain is worth not building a town center. Like, sure, he builds a town center, you'll eventually get more and more villagers, but I don't think it's worth. I think you're better off trying to win this side of the water. And he's probably not going to be able to, because Skady not grabbing a second town center, also now bolting the Wadjet. What we're going to see is that Skady will be able to fight this side of water, defend it, and Kimo will essentially be behind all of these fishing ships while having just a few more villagers. It's not worth it. A lot of idols staring at these berries too. And he had a one down there. Okay. And we've got mining camp there and the Pharaoh empowering. And we have Skady. Looks like he's just going to be full on defensive, it seems. And I have a text. Someone is texting me about a raccoon in his garage. And now we see a pretty big fight. Kimo is kind of stockpiling boats in this dock here. And it looks like he wants this water. It's going to be tough to really do a whole lot here. I mean, he can kill Skady's fishing ships. But I don't think he's going to be able to get control of this water. He's actually Kimo's putting more boats into this than I thought he would, which is great. I think you have to push Skady off, because right now Skady really only has 3 ships up here. I don't know why he hasn't built more. But we've got quite the fight here. Greek trireme with a little bit extra range, so that does help. Restoration being used, which will force Kimo back. And what are we going to see? We got 13 to 11. But they are fighting underneath the dock. Now, there's no ships garrisoned in here, so it's just one dock shooting. But we'll see what's going on. We got a couple boats. This is... Ooh, don't follow. Okay, okay. Let's see. I don't think Kimo can keep up with the production here. See Skady doing a really good job pulling ships back. And look at that. Oh, it does get sunk. The very last little boat there. And boy, if Kimo had ships, the fishing ships garrisoned in these docks to make them shoot, he'd be winning this fight. Now he's chasing this. I think he's just kind of given up and just decided he's too far behind. He should probably stop training boats at this point. And I think at this point now he's just, if he continues to make boats, he's just kind of funneling them into death and destruction. And there's no point in it. The whole point you want to do, if you're going to do this and then kind of give up, is that you want the opponent to like overproduce. Because Kimo made like an extra probably 4 boats here. He is not making Skady overproduce, so there's no resources being saved on that end. And we can see that Skady is quite a bit ahead in score. Has more resources banked. Looks like he's going to be aging up soon. And this is where the danger comes in for this map. Kimo's probably going to want to try to get heroic age before he makes an army, because classical age Egyptian does not fight very well into Greek. The problem is Kimo's a ways away from aging up. Like a ways away. And I don't know if he's even going to be able to remotely hold on to that gold mine. And Pharaoh throwing a few rocks at these units will kill a villager, but now Kimo's going to be forced to build classical age, and that is not what you want to do. Also, this barracks here is in a really bad position. That's gonna prevent Kimo from... Oof. Yeah, this isn't gonna work out. Maybe Kimo should have grabbed this town center if he was going to grab one, We have the shifting sands all the way to the back. It saves a little, will help save some time, but the units aren't going to die except maybe for a hoplite there. And this could be another very quick game. We've got a ton of villagers coming forward here. Units tanking some damage, but none of them have died. The hero's almost dead, but I don't know how this is going to go for Kimo. He's getting skin of the rhino. At this point, he should just try to grab this town center. Turn and fight. Turn and fight. Ugh. I mean, Kimo has no army, so he has to do this. Otherwise, he's not going to gather. The problem is he can't really afford this either. As we see, Skady is also getting in on the action, which is a little bit unusual. I think he could just really fall back and the damage is done already. I think actually Skady moving his villagers in helps Kimo quite a bit. But Kimo, as he's losing his units here, like once his pharaoh comes back, he can probably maybe try to grab this town center. And I gotta keep these slingers slinging away at the archers. But Odysseus here, just a sharpshooter, just keeps shooting his arrows as this continues to keep on going. We've got only one hero, though, for the Minotaur who's coming in. He's going to take a ton of damage. He's kind of confused, though. He's getting path blocked. There he goes. He gets on a slinger. And, yeah, villagers with this bonus. So Rod does get a unique technology. Plus 0.8 hack damage, hack and pierce armor improved, and it's a lot. From 25% base armor to 22% for hack, and 34% all the way up to 54% for pierce. This is a phenomenal upgrade. And is what's allowing Kimo to continue this. And I know it might sound stupid, but this fight actually has been pretty decent for him. Like, this was as good as he could have hoped this went, given the circumstances. Now, what Kimo needs to do, though, is he has no food income, and he has not making any villagers, and that's not good. So, Kimo is slightly ahead on villager production, or villager count, but he's sitting at 17 food right now and has, I mean, it's going to be a while. And now he's getting in on this gold mine here. Skady does have another one over there, though, so it's not the end of the world. And yes, Red has... Yeah, I don't know why Kimo chose to fight this with his villagers as well, because that hurt him quite a bit. He could have just fallen back. I mean, it's no big deal. I mean, he's got this town center. He could have just, kind of temporarily gave this spot up and then continued on with the game, as we see another Minotaur here. A watchtower being built by Kimo. I do like the use of the slingers. They can do well as long as they're microed efficiently. The problem is Jason here will tank so much damage. And now we do have the Pharaoh showing back up to deal with the Minotaur. And just can't lose the Pharaoh. We see nicely done with the Toxotes targeting the Pharaoh. And Kimo trying to get this tower up. And the Pharaoh retreating with 5 hit points, but gets picked off by that last archer volley. And we got villagers coming down to attack the tower here. This tower has 21 hit points left to build it. If he would have put a villager on stand ground, it would have been built. And he did not. And we got nothing yet to deal with this Minotaur. And now we've got Skady is starting to get more of an army here. And this Minotaur is a problem, as we see some Hippocon come moving in here. Kimo's not on water. But the thing is, though, Skady isn't quite on water as much as he should be. Like, he only has 2 boats up here. He should have more than that. And now Skady has taken over this spot. I feel like there was an opening for Kimo before he ran out of food to build this town center. he's got a nice army composition against what Skady has, because Skady has he has too many archers at this point and not enough other stuff. And Kimo still now see, here's the problem. What I alluded to, Kimo, who has not been having any food income or barely any, he's got some on the berries here. He is now at 45 villagers, 1 fishing ship, and Skady is at 65 villagers, 10 fishing ships. So Kimo may defend this for now, but Skady is going to keep up the pressure. Skady could probably start grabbing this town center pretty quickly here, and he's building this back one. And I don't know how Kimo is going to be able to hold this position for too much longer. He's just getting too far behind. And I mean, the slingers against all these Toxotes will still do pretty well. And we've gotta watch it coming back out. Watch it. You don't see a lot of these because typically your raw players that go Ta are just jumping up to heroic age. But the Wadjet actually isn't a bad myth unit. It's pretty solid for its cost. It does well. But if you could jump to heroic age and get Petsuchos instead, that's the laser croc, why not? And get the tower is... The problem is as soon as you build a tower, it defaults to a building if a building's in range. And you're going to have to retask the tower to attack units, or it's going to just continue to attack the building. Now, the Wadjet should not be in the front lines, because you don't want to just lose him like that. He does well. These Hippocon are tanking a ton of damage. And now that the Hippocon are down, the Toxotes will fall pretty quickly. And I don't understand the heavy usage of Toxotes. Like, given that Kimo is stuck on slingers, why even make Toxotes? I guess if you don't have a ton of resources, why not? Now here comes the town center being grabbed by Kimo. And the problem is what he'd want to do is we see villagers coming in on the tower. So villagers get an attack bonus against towers. So that's why these villagers are down here. And we have a rain being used to give Kimo a little bit more food income. And the villagers, again, this is a suicide mission by Skady. Not sure why the villies all came in like that. And the problem, though, these villagers will just slowly get punished by all these Toxotes. And Kimo is still 21 villagers down now. Needs to take care of his Pharaoh. His Pharaoh can't come forward like this. The empowerment on that guy is way too important. 3 hit points. Oh, it's just 1 hit and he's down. 1 hit and he's down. If you notice, here comes the Hippocon. Alright, Hippocon gets him down. And that is the end of the Pharaoh, which kind of spells the end of this town center because we also have Minotaurs. Whew. That is going to be tough. See, now, like, Kimo's kill-death ratio is really good. And that's what's keeping him in this game, because there's just too many Toxotes. But we can see that it looks like Skady is kind of switching over now to just more Hippocon here. And as we look on the bottom, oh, Kimo has taken back the water. Now, he doesn't have ships fighting, but he did take the water back. And this is where I like the Wadjets. The Wadjets with their attack bonus against other myth units are so good here. And this fight is just going and going and going. But again, 46 to 71. And that is tough. And I think that push there might have been enough to do it. Maybe? Again, still a lot of Toxotes. You just gotta watch out for your slingers. I mean, well done, well-managed slingers just absolutely wreck Toxotes. And Odysseus trying to get in on this Wadjet. Pulled the Wadjet back. And Kimo defends. This entire game, Kimo has been on, like, the edge of destruction. And the only reason he hasn't lost yet is because Skady is just kind of continually thrown units in at a pretty bad kill-death ratio. Like, look at Skady. He's at 115 of 145 pop. Like, he could just fall back and mass up and then show up with 145 pop army and win the fight. Instead, he just keeps kind of funneling units in, and he's been doing it for like the last 5 minutes. And it's allowing Kimo to do this. And Kimo has no business being like, this game should not be going on. And what's interesting here is that Skady, despite having a huge economy lead, doesn't. Like, he has no economy in the bank right now. And he's been like 20 villagers up for the last 5 minutes. And his kill death is just atrocious. And there's no reason for it. Like, Skady could have just sat back this entire time. And we've got the these Wadgets are doing work. As we see Odysseus here coming in. What do we see on the top? We still got the Wadget doing damage. Odysseus here shooting away. But now we got the Wadgets dead. Do we have any more favor for another Wadget? No more. We have enough favor for one more Wadget. How much gold is left on this? 1,000 gold. But we do have another gold mine up here, so that's not bad. You see, trying to get this tower in. We're at a 111 pop to 99. Kimo is starting to be a little bit... he almost needs another... Oh, he stopped making slingers. But Kimo probably could use another barracks, I think. Right now. As Kimo is just 100 score down. Oh, this is blowing my mind. The slingers are holding the fort. First line of eco upgrades. Got... Oh, this is a problem. Right here. It's just no pickaxe. Just hand axe. That is not good. Not even plow. And yeah, he could make some fishing boats here. I mean, he should. I mean, look, he's got 1,100 wood in the bank. And he's not. As we now see a tower on this town center there. And it seems like my computer is lagging a little bit. Hold on here. And now we're going to get this town center. If this town center can get built. I don't know if it can, though. Yes, so 1 fishing ship for Kimo. 2 for Skady. Got a huge fight here. This... See, right now Skady is at full pop. So this is going to be a tough fight for Skady to win. We've got the slingers, though. I mean, there's still too many Toxotes. And I don't know how it's going to go here. I gotta get the slingers, keep shooting at the Toxotes. We've still got just 3 barracks here. See... He could have so many more. Yeah, Kimo needed to have another barracks in preparation for this big fight. And the tower is down, killed by the villagers. Kimo will probably at this point now have to abandon this. And now we've got another Minotaur in with no hero. We've got the Pharaoh coming back. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Skady has just kind of figured that the water isn't worth building a fishing ship. I mean, the fish aren't super close to the shore, so they aren't super high value. But the Pharaoh, one more shot on him. He can get some damage in on this Minotaur. The slingers all coming forward, but the Pharaoh does his job. He kills the Minotaur. But we got this big push here, and now Kimo not looking good again. And I think part of it is he needed another barracks sooner. Needed one more bear. We got another Minotaur here hammering away at the slingers. And ooh, I mean, if Skady now just moves up on this villager here, he'll win. Oh man, oh, the Minotaur comes. Oh, he sees it. There we go. Minotaur will spot that. Yeah, the game is running a little bit slow here in the middle. I'm not really sure why, but up here it's faster. So I don't know. I've noticed that my computer is kind of, I don't know what's going on with it. If there's no reason though, it should be running. Yeah, there's a hole here. The Minotaur just walks right through it. But we have, now we have, oh, I thought this was game over 10 minutes ago. And Kimo has dragged it out. But now, I don't see a way back for Kimo at this point. I mean, he has no gold. He has 50, he's 20 vills down. And you got a Minotaur up here. You got the lion up here. Maybe this is the trend. In each game, Kimo will lose a villager to an animal. Oh, man. Villagers chasing down Odysseus, and that is it. Game 2 ended up being a lot more entertaining than I thought it would. The writing was on the wall pretty early. Skady could have made this game a lot easier. Hello, boy. No spoilers. But yeah, Skady could have made this game a lot easier. Instead, he kind of made it, he kind of played into Kimo's hands a little bit here. Because really the only chance Kimo had of coming back was just if the game became messy. And it became messy, which allowed him to come back. If Skady just fell back and would have fought normally, you know, as soon as this first push comes, Skady just falls back and just gets a full pop army with economy upgrades. He'd win pretty easily. He was substantially ahead going into those fights there. But Kimo pulled it back, and it was really ended up being fairly close. Like, it was to the point where if Kimo, yeah, I'll get to the post game, but if Kimo would have gotten this town center up, should make, you know, hypothetical, he would have been in a really good spot there. Now Skady, courtesy of the end fights there, does end up with a better kill-loss ratio, but also keep in mind that Egyptian units are barracks units. They're substantially cheaper than Greek units, so even if this is a real, even this is like a real, you know, this is how it was going into it, like this is still good for the Egyptian because your units are so much cheaper. Economy is actually closer than I thought it would be. Let's take a look at resources gathered. Like, Kimo, way behind. Yes, Skady almost threw by choosing the Vil fight. There was no reason for that. And you're right, you may be an AoE 3 player, but, I mean, all the Age games have fairly similar concepts, I would say. And yeah, the better thing to do would just be, okay, I'm ahead overall. I have 4 buildings here. Just no big deal. Let's build an army back here and then come back. But yeah, Skady made it wild, and it made it fun. But there's no reason for it. And we can see Kimo just trying to take control of that middle. I mean, being this far down so quickly. I mean, it's all just both games. Both games have just the way they've turned out have just been a result of the slow advance times. The first game, there's no reason for the slow advance. This game as well, no reason for that slow advance, and it just puts you in a huge hole. And oh, we have a Skady in the chat as well. No spoilers. No spoilers. But yeah, the slow advances going into that's just hard to overcome. Like, against a good player like Skady, you can't really afford to fall behind early. How are you gonna make up for it? you know, against the average player who make mistakes all over, that's okay. Because you can generally find ways to get back into a game. But against a good player, if you start off behind, it's going to be hard to catch up. But let's see. Game number 3 will be on Frozen Wastes. And Frozen Wastes Ra versus Oranos. I think the balance depends maybe on the gold mines. So on this map, Frozen Wastes, as we're looking at the players, we got Skady back as his Ra. A good pick in this map. Or not, Skady's not on his Ra. Skady's on his Oranos. And Kimo's on his Ra. So Kimo top in the red, Skady bottom in the blue. The big thing about this game to look at is Frozen Wastes can have 2 gold mines in the base. Now, there's only 1. Now, players did have vetoes, 2 per match, so I don't know if there was some veto shenanigans to try to get a 1 gold mine spawn versus a 2. You know, if you're Skady and you see 2 gold mine spawn, you veto. If you're Kimo, you see 1 gold mine and you also veto as well. Looking at gold mines, this gold mine is okay. It's a secondary gold mine, but it's not protected by a town center. If you're not familiar with this map, again, like I said, with a lot of stuff with this game, with any game, some people love this map, some people hate it. Kimo being a little sloppy here, not building the mining camp. There kind of some on Kimo-like mistakes here. Little stuff like this. But yeah, so this is Frozen Wastes. It's a map that was, I think, came out in like 2015 or so. So it's been around for a while. It's alright. It's seen a little bit of updates. A recent update made the gold mines not quite as scary. Because they used to spawn like right next to the ice and it would be really hard. Now they spawn a little bit closer inland, I think. Sometimes they tend to be a little bit too defensive now. But there might be a change coming that'll make them a little bit... Like this gold mine here is too defensive for Frozen Wastes. It shouldn't spawn this close to the town center. But yeah, you got goats on the edge. You've got hunt that is in the middle. It's just a 1 hunt spawn for the elk. This can spawn in packs of 2. So... And that's about that. So what? Oranos versus Ra. This map's tough. Again, depending on who you ask, you'll get different results or different opinions. I feel like on this map, if the gold mines aren't safe, I think it's a better Oranos map. That's my opinion. You think 1 gold mine is better? I don't know. I mean, I guess what you're looking at from the Oranos perspective is if the Ra player just does like 1 town center and pushes through and blocks gold like maybe a Son of Osiris push, just hopping through ages maybe. But I don't know if that should really work. This gold mine isn't in a great... It's back, so I guess that's pretty decent. I'm going to say you could potentially get some Terma swooping in here, but you could probably wall this off, so that'll be okay. But yeah, this is a map that, as a Ra player, which I am a Ra main, I really don't know what to do against Oranos on this map. I don't know. And oh no. Oh no. Every game so far, a Gaia animal has killed a villager of Kimo. Why the villager was even chasing this oracle that far, I do not know. There is no reason for that. That is not good. All the way down. Why? I don't understand it. Prometheus is almost up. We've got a box coming in here. I think Kimo should focus on finishing the box. Now he's going up with Ta, so no Bast, no Eclipse. So we've got the box here. Now what this is, if you're not familiar with this, he'll try to shift sand some units. I guess we saw it in the first game and it failed. Kimo will try to shift some enemy Terma into this box. And we'll go from there. What's in the box? We're hoping, at least Kimo is hoping, he'll end up having a whole bunch of Terma in here. So, we'll see. Last game he didn't finish it, and they ended up dying. Now this game, it looks like he's maybe on to a better start here. And we've got double counter barracks. So it looks like this will kind of be a repeat of game 1. Just Kimo probably should not grab a town center. And it looks like that's what he's going to try to do. I don't know. I think it's too risky. I don't know what you get out of building this town center. I mean, it'll probably go up because he has shifting sand, so he can shift these 4 Terma. Now he's got a few wall segments left to finish on this. Like, you probably do shift these initial 4 Terma, I feel like. If you're not gonna, I mean, we're gonna see a shockwave, so now the shift needs to come in. Before, though, the Terma got in range. Okay, so there's the shift. The villager is out. Oh no, a little bit misplacement of the Terma. And they kind of glitch out anyway. So that is not good. So the reason that happened is that there technically is a hole in this right here. These walls don't actually connect. So here's the thing. You can't split your units up. Players don't really do that a whole lot. Instead, they'd rather group them up and then complain that the shift is too strong. But the problem here is that, not really a problem, is that Atlantean units, the Terma and the Murmillo, for some reason, and I don't know why, it's just like that, they have a smaller like obstruction box than most other units. So they can fit through holes that like other units can't. So like theoretically, if like this would have been Hippocon, they would have been stuck because they wouldn't have been able to fit through this hole. But the Terma can slide right through it. And the problem for it is that Kimo didn't build, or I don't know. I don't know why this segment here didn't get finished. It's almost like Kimo built this and up, and then built a different wall this way. So like what I'm talking about here is you went click, click, and then I don't know. I'm not sure why it happened the way it did, but that's kind of a problem because now we've got like 6, 7 Terma, and look how much damage they've been causing. So it's not good. And do we have plow? We do. Do we have husbandry? We do. So I don't know why this... I'll probably check the video and see. And now we've got 7 Terma. And, I mean, if you still had shifting sands, you could shift 7 in. But he doesn't. And with the villagers without Skin of the Rhino. Oof. Nice to pop those villies in that were almost dead. The Pharaoh, though, is almost dead. And the Pharaoh should probably just empower the... Okay. But the one problem with this wall, as Boyd is mentioning in chat, is it's too big. It shouldn't be more than a long segment. 3 long segments in the pillars. To have to build these little bit here, I mean, for the real estate you're getting, it's not worth it. And this is the power of the Oranos, where the Oranos can match an early town center, but still be controlling the game. I mean, the Terma are so good. And this villager getting picked off. Yep. She should probably hide. And these villagers pop out. They'll have to pop back in. Does Kimo know about this gold mine over here? He does. Yeah, Terma mass is strong. I feel like, maybe it's just me, but I feel like I haven't seen as much Terma mass as there used to be. It seems like Atlantean players are a lot more just going pure, or just doing the Murmillo Slinger spam more often, I feel like, than, because you used to see this a lot, and it works. I mean, Edeville. I mean, Kimo, he can't afford this because he's just going to be falling further and further behind. And I mean, you've got me versus OG Nenny J. It is. It's a throwback. It was me versus him. See, I thought he went Oranos on Ghost Lake. I was ready for another game like this. In game number 2, I was just wrong. But Kimo, he's trying to age up without having to build a barracks. I am not a soothsayer, nor can I see the future. But I don't know if Kimo is ever going to be able to age up without building a barracks. Now, a lot of these Terma are almost dead. We only have one hero left, so maybe Kimo will push this off now. Oh, he made a barracks. See, they're up here. Okay, alright. He's got some spearmen now. So, Kimo, again, this is kind of another problem that you run into when you're Egyptian here, is that you don't want to have to fight in Age 2 because it's not super great for you. And so Kimo like tried as hard as he could for the longest time not to have to fight, and now here he is. Now he's getting some counter raids here. This is good. Don't be fooled by the score. Kimo is not this close. The only reason it looks like he's this close is because of all the resources that are plugged into this town center right now. But I will say, though, this is a good counter attack here from Kimo. But Kimo needs to... This shouldn't be happening here. I don't know what this is all about for Kimo. This, well, I mean, Skady should probably run these units, though. So maybe this is a great move by Kimo. He's going to clear up these Terma and then run away. Oh, that shouldn't have happened like that. And now we see a couple of ballista. They do well against the spearmen. Now the problem is Kimo should try not to attack the ballista with the spearman that's being targeted. And whew, this game's a little closer than I thought. Yeah, the Kiro Ballista. So spearmen get an attack bonus versus Kiro Ballista. So it's kind of one of those things. Kiro Ballista are great as long as they have a meat shield. Now I think these units should come down here and protect this spot, because if we see a few Prometheans down here, the spearman will never be able to take him. Let's get the spearmen separated. They're getting slowed down by the fat ones in the back. And now we should maybe see the Kiro Ballista potentially getting taken out. Yeah, you can play this game on Steam. It works well on Steam most of the time. It depends on your computer. Sometimes they don't work well. But now that these Promethean are here, Kimo can't fight this. He has no hero. Kimo needs to run. Okay, yeah, get out of here. And he can't stop this town center. So the spearman will head on out. This should give Kimo time to age up. The problem, though, is he doesn't have a lot of food. He's going to try to grab this town center. He's bringing a few heroes forward. But Kimo's ahead in score. Don't be fooled. Skady's about to take the game over. Because Kimo should not be able to get this town center up. I mean, look at all these Prometheans here. It's a ton. Now, the Pharaoh needs to be really careful, because nice raid down here. But the spearmen are running... Ooh, I don't know about that. And, well, actually, they are not... The units aren't targeting the Pharaoh. And so the Pharaoh and the Wadjet and the Priest are absolutely demolishing all these men of clay. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. And the spearmen coming back. Oh, they should turn on this. No, 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 no. Okay, all right, good, good, good. Now the Pharaoh's almost dead, and we still have a ton of Promethean spawn just roaming around. Oh, no, the Pharaoh still lives. He should have been dead so much quicker than this. He's been sitting at 5 hit points for the longest time. Okay. In the end, Skady does win this fight. It was probably closer than what it should have been. But Kimo will have to fall back. Skady will take this position over, and now you'll see where Kimo's going to be stuck at 2 town centers to 4. And it's not going to work here. And that's GG! Wow! So Skady has won the series, and 93 Fuat wants to link to the bracket schedule. Well, you're about to be a little bit befallen here because, well, this is the end. This is the end of the tournament right here. I mean, I do have the 3rd place match that I'll cast at some point, but Kimo has won the tournament, won Champion League Season 2. No, not Kimo. I had my speech already. Kimo did not win. He lost. He got 2nd place, but that's still good. Nothing wrong with that. But Skady has won. Skady avenged his Bill Gregg Open loss to Kimo, or he lost 3-2, and Skady has just absolutely demolished Kimo here in a 3-game set. And game 1 was not close. Game 2 kind of got close, but really wasn't. Game 3 here also wasn't super close. So they were pretty dominant victories, I have to say. Well played by Skady. You're in the chat. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. I don't know if you want to. I'm not sure how your English is. If you wanted to hop on Discord for a little bit of an interview, you can come in. I don't know if I've ever heard you on stream or anything, so I don't know. But if you wanted, come in and talk to you real quick. But it's up to you. But so there's some comments in the chat about leg. Now, you can come. Okay, all right. I'm excited. Hold on. Oh, I'm holding on. Hold on for dear. I'm holding on my chair. The problem here, it has nothing to do. So there's a little history. Kimo likes to complain about legs sometimes. But the problem in all 3 of these games has nothing to do with leg. Game 1, Kimo advanced way too late. That's no problem. Game 2, Kimo advanced too late. It has nothing to do with leg. Game 3, Kimo... This is just the wrong strat. I don't think you can do 2 town center Ta here against Oranos. I don't think it works. I mean, he was so far behind. Oh, Donari, were you the one who did a couple subs? I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I do enjoy the support. Boit is in the chat as well. So if you haven't been... I know you've been talking about Age of Empires 3. I used to play that pretty well. But we're talking when the game first came out. I was a general back then. But I haven't played that in a long time. But I don't know if you know, give you anxiety in Soldier. You probably do if you play Age 3. But they used to be clanmates of mine. They still are, I guess. We're still in the same clan. And I kind of helped Soldier get better. Because back in the day, he couldn't beat me. And he wanted to know how. So I taught him a few things. And eventually he got better than me. Alright, you're on Discord. Okay. Alright. Good to have you on the Discord. Let's get you in the chat. Here, hold on. We'll get to my Kimo versus Skady overlay. Okay. Let's get this. If people got questions that you specifically want to ask Skady, put them in the chat. And I don't know how much time Skady has, but we'll give him a little bit. This is fun. Where are you at? Are you in the Dodd? Or do you want me just to call you? I guess I can do that, can't I? Hold on. Yeah, I enjoy H3. I used to really have fun with it when it first came out, but I prefer AoM now. I mean, H3, it does require a lot more APM. AoM is kind of the lazy man's game. I'm looking for you, Skady. Where you at? Okay, I'll just come into... There should be a voice chat, just... General? Oh, it looks like it's locked. Let me change this. Edit category. I will give Skady permission to view all channels and connect all channels, speak, do video, voice activity, and everything. Oh, he has? Yeah, I noticed he hasn't been streaming as much. Okay, you should be able to come in right here. Well, yeah, congratulations, Skady. And I'm here. Can you see it? Voice channels. I guess it might be easier to just do a call with you, but I don't see you here. Maybe this guy is standing me up. All right, I'll just call you. Are you there?
Hey, Kronos, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Nice, man.
Let me try to turn you up.
Let's
see. Let's see. I think I can turn you up. Hey, man, congratulations.
Hey. Thanks, man.
Nice to see some. Now, I have nothing against Kimo, but it's nice to share. It's nice to spread the victories around a little bit. So nice to have a new winner. And I can tell you, looking at the comments, there's been some Brazil fans that have been cheering you on.
Yeah, there's a lot of Brazilian people here, and we finally see a Norse player winning a tournament, right?
A Norse player, yes, you did play Norse in the semifinals.
See, I see how Norse is strong. I bring pride to Norse community.
Yeah, this Cameron, he was the one in chat was complaining about not enough Norse. So I told him that you have basically 1/6 of a Norse player in the finals because you played Norse. And you won.
I played Norse.
Yeah, so I guess take me through like this matchup. So you knew the maps ahead of time, you knew your opponent. Like what were you thinking aggression all along? Because it looks like that's kind of what you went with.
Yes, like I was training like the 5 maps. I knew my chances were on Savannah, Calm Shores, and Frozen Waste because it's an open map, so I can be aggressive. Like my fourth map would be Alfheim and Watering Hole, and this is where Kimo have advantage.
Yeah,
because he just played for late game.
Yeah. So was it based solely on the maps, or do you think there's something about Kimo's play style that is better for all-out aggression?
Yes, I know I had to play Kimo, like he plays way more often than me. Like I just played 3 games on this week, and I knew I had to be aggressive because if it goes for late game, it's raw, and he's going to make like 5, 6 wall segments. Late game high is so strong. So I knew I had to be aggressive in 2-3 games.
All right. Now why? I guess so. On game 2, you went with Zeus. I guess what's your thoughts behind Zeus instead of like any other god? I guess on that map.
Well, I just went Zeus because my plan for this game was actually going for late game. But when I realized Kimo, like, I don't know, like he just built one dock on top. I knew like I can just take this side and go to the other side. I don't know why he built like just one dock. Then I thought I have two water, I have two sides. Then I just need to play for gold control. And when I see like someone on villager fight, like I can't resist. I need to view fight as well. Maybe I could win this game easier, but
You
I just
could
wanted to view
have.
fight.
You could have, because that kind of brought him back into the game a little bit. But yeah, that's what I. That's kind of what I thought too. Is Kimo seemed like he was really slow on building his extra dock on the top, and I kind of called
Yeah.
it. I'm like, I think you can just push this through with Minotaur and your own dock, and then you'd be fine. And that's ends up what happening. And then
And then he lost two villagers there.
yes, yeah, he like went all out and sent all sorts of villagers up, and I don't think you lost any because I think you pulled back the one that was like a smidge
Yes, I
from death.
remember.
So that was awesome, and I don't know if you noticed, but in each game, Kimo lost a villager to an animal, so I was very amused.
And then, like Atlantean, like I don't know, I feel like animals were rating better than me to series.
Well, they got the first kill of the game. The Rhino did.
He lost like two villagers for animals.
So
It's the
yeah,
first blood.
yeah. Now, so obviously, yeah, you're scared above Alfheim because that's a super defensive map. So
Mhm.
if it would have gotten to Alfheim, what would you have done?
I would play Kronos there for sure. Because I know this map has no hand. Basically, sometimes there is some hand, but I would play Kronos there
So
and rush.
you would have played Kronos.
Yes,
Oh
I
man,
would definitely.
I kind of wish you would have lost one of the first three games so I could have seen it. Huh. So you would have played Kronos.
I would play Kronos.
Okay. So we can actually go back. Actually, I actually really wanted to ask you also not only about this but about Grand Monsters series, where
Mhm.
you were super aggressive in every game in that
Yeah.
series. Was that something you saw that you thought you'd be able to like do against him, or just or what exactly?
The thing is that when I'm playing someone, I shoot him. I shoot his gameplay, and I know he doesn't do well on early game. Like if you rush Grand Monster, it's where he's weak. Like this is his weakness. And when you can see the three games, I just rush it. I just play the
Yes.
aggressive and wanted to finish the game fast.
Well, you did. Each game was, I think it was the quickest best of five in the entire tournament, and I think this might have been almost the second quickest in terms of actual gameplay. Um,
But if you look like all games I have played, they are like 10 minutes average. Like every single game I played.
yeah, well, the, now I get here's the thing too. So a lot of people complain that the game is too defensive and that Boom is too superior. Do you agree with that?
The thing is that like if you're playing like leader games, like probably like rated games, like it's random map, so it's good for defensive gods. But if you're playing a tournament where you have set up maps, you can just be aggressive because it allows you. I think it's easier to be aggressive in tournaments because you have preset maps, right?
Right. Now, I guess we could go along this path. What do you think of having preset maps? Like, what's your opinion of it?
About preset maps, I think it's the best because like if you're going to play a random map, it depends on luck. Because if you have two players with the same level, it will be based on maps and research. But if you have presets like choose maps, like we had Savannah, Calm Shores, Frozen Waste, Alphen, and Watering Hole, like there is two defensive maps are good for Kimo, and then we had two aggressive maps like Savannah and Frozen Waste. So I felt like it was balanced.
Yeah, so that was with. So, how we set it up is we did randomly set the maps up, but then there was kind of some parameters behind it. Like we tried to keep it so that each set kind of had different, different kinds of maps, so you wouldn't have all the same map. And we maybe some series were a little bit
Mm-hmm.
better than others, but that was kind of the focus. And for the most part, I think yes, what you say is right, and that's why me and Boyd are doing it like this, is because random map kind of also then results in just like the same three gods getting picked over and over and over and over, and it's boring.
Yes, I
Like
agree.
why?
It's Uranus, Seth, and Zeus. You don't see like Norse really often.
Yeah, because there's some maps that Norse are really good at, and then there's other maps that Norse maybe not so good. Um, Boyd's asking. Yeah, I think it's
Mm.
an Age. I don't know. Do you play Age of Empires 2, the definitive edition at all?
Like I played it like 10 years ago,
Okay,
but then
so
I never played it again.
DE uses how they do it is they randomly pick the map when you do rated, but then after the map is chosen, then you select the civ. I guess what would you think of that?
You first see the map and then you
And then you
select the
pick.
civ after.
But that's used for like rated play.
Uh,
So it's kind of like this, but for every single individual game in a way, I suppose.
hmm Well, I don't know about it. I prefer the way it's being played, like you and Boyd are doing.
Now, what is your opinion of like throwing in a non-standard map? So like game 2 is on Calm Shores. Like how do you
hmm
feel about those maps?
I like these maps, like this is the best because here you need to think like every time I'm playing, choose like non-standard maps. I actually study the map and see what is better. I like these maps. This
Yeah,
is very good.
and I would say that it seemed like you, I don't know, Kimo like almost spent a lot of time at the beginning of the map looking for like a shorefish spot, it seemed like. So I don't know, it seemed like you were a little bit more prepared for the map than he was, which
Yeah.
that's on
Yes,
him.
but I don't understand that. Like he plays 20 games a day. I just played on weekends, so he had like more time to study the map.
Right. So the closest series you had in the finals was you and Player, the 3-2 series,
Yeah.
which that was a really fun series to watch. And I guess what's the difference with Player that you think made that end up being such a close series?
It's because player is really good Zeus player and he's really good at Greek. And I knew like I would lose Midgar and
Yeah.
Watering Hole. Like it was based on maps. But about player, the bad thing about most of players here is that they are monosieve, which makes harder for win games. If you play more sieves, you can just counter pick or do better starts.
Right. And that's another reason Boyd and I kind of do it like this is because in our opinion, players who can play multiple gods at the top level should be winning because it takes more
hmm
skill. Like you got old farts like me who have been playing the game for 18 years can only play raw. I have no business at winning. I only can play one god after 18 years. So yeah, I think that's
Well, you play Kronos, right?
not very well sometimes. Good enough to beat Shadowfax. What's your opinion on Medit?
Mediterranean.
Yeah.
This
There's
is the best map, man. Like people they complain about this map, but Mediterranean is the map where you need a good macro and a good micro. Like this is the best map you can show you have skill.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think you're right. I always say that Meta is the most mechanical of all the maps in the game because you're right. It's high skill. The
Yeah.
problem I think maybe for part of it is maybe Greek is a little too good. But
Yes, definitely.
there's other ways to go about it. Do you have any? I guess do you have any overall comments about your series against Kimo or anything in regards to like the tournament?
Uh-huh. Like people like when they play tournament, like they get scared. Like I'm playing Kimo, but then they get scared. Like you can win. Like if he can win, you can win as well. And I knew Kimo would play like 100 games this week when I just had time to play weekends. And I just knew I just need to do what has to be done. Like just rush Kimo. Don't let him to go heroic age. Don't let him to go for late game. People complain about maps, about gods. Like just learn how to play more than one Civ. Just learn, understand what you need to do the game, how the map is. Like people ask, what start you need to do against Ra or against any other Civ. Like you can say like there's a standard start. You just need to scout the map and read it, and just need to do what has to be done.
Yeah, because I mean, I think everyone can agree that Kimo is tough to beat, and that you made it look pretty easy. I mean, apparently you just have to rush the guy really hard, and it wins. Now, it seems like other people have tried that and failed. So yeah, it's
I feel like he was Neros.
that could be it. Yeah.
Like the first game was like basically a free win. I didn't do anything.
Yeah, I don't know what happened that first game. I mean, to get a 555 advance, I mean, I know he lost a Ville to a Rhino, but even then, that shouldn't take that. So I don't know
And
what his mindset was there.
when I
Um,
realized, like, I was thinking about this map, what he had to do, I knew, like, just make a wall between your towers and your wood line. You would like just make a wall and have your safe gold. Here he had to play going bust, not pita. And then when he went, I saw he going to see. I was like, what is he doing? Like I just already win this game.
yeah, there's no way you can get a town center after 6 minutes when you're going to double counter barracks. There's just no way, and well, it didn't work for him. No, Nyan had a question. Nyan Racing Cat had a question. He he says, "Do you think it would have been harder to beat me instead of Kimo, as in me, as in Chrono JJ today?" You don't have to answer that.
Like actually, like I mean, Kim is very good, but it would be easier to beat anyone who didn't. He wouldn't go for a second TC with 6 minutes. Like I didn't do anything special this game. I just did what has to be done. I didn't understand why he went TC, so it would be hard. It would be harder. Like if he stay one TC, I don't know. It will be harder maybe to beat anyone in this map.
So for game one, you mentioned Bast. Do you think, given the circumstances there, Bast would have been the better choice for him?
Yes, I actually was thinking this map like you have low hunt map, and then I thought he would like one TC into Osiris,
Mm-hmm.
and then my plan was to go Turma and then two TCs into Contarius. I think it would be better for him.
And what about Frozen Waste? Do you think Bast would have been better there?
Uh, yes, but there's one thing I was like trying to understand about Frozen Waste. I don't know if it's true, but that's what I was trying to do. Like I played like 10 games against AE. Basically, what I realized in this map, if you play Zeus, if you go Zeus on this map,
Okay.
you get 2 gold mine spawn. If you play Ra or any Egyptian on this map, you get 2 gold mine spawn. But if you go Oranos, gold mine spawn. I tried it like 10 times and it worked every single time.
Hmm. I don't know if it quite works like that, but if it I guess it worked. I know I didn't watch the
Well, it
games
worked
live.
for me.
Um, did you guys veto that at all? Like, were there any two gold mine spawns or anything like that?
Yes, like Kimo Victor, like first map was Savannah because I think he had like forward gold mine, and then I vetoed again
Okay.
because I was studying Savannah maps Paul before playing Kimo, and then when you have like two rhinos or you just get like some gazelle and I studying the map spawn, and the second game, like after Kimo vetoed, I knew he had like forward gold mine because I was studying the map and how it works.
Okay. Um. So this is one for me. On Frozen Waste. As if it's one town center and you're playing Oranos, what strategy are you most scared to face against a Ra? Like, what scares you the most as an Oranos?
Well, Ra is like you can do a lot of things playing Ra. So basically, I was afraid of one TC best into Mid Cage, Osiris,
Okay.
or Titan. I was afraid of like him doing that. But when I see and when I realize he's going like two TCs, like a forward TC, which give him nothing, I knew I would win this game. Like Bass would be way better this game.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm gonna use that
Oh
next.
yeah,
The next
I
time we
forgot.
play in a tournament, I'll use that, and hopefully I'll beat you.
Wait, say the villager rush. Yes, if you realize,
I
I
saw
was
that you
building
built all
my
your
temple.
buildings,
Yes, I was afraid. I forgot that villager rush. Yes.
but I feel like if you build the buildings the way you did, I don't think a villager rush can really work.
Well, I was winning 2-0, and I don't know. Maybe Kim was just went to throw, and what if I'm not expecting this?
Okay. Well, here. Oh, were the games laggy?
Mm. Kimo was complaining about like it. He said it wasn't me. He said like it was Boyd, and then he said it's lagging. Then I said it's not lagging, and he said, but it's not with you. It's with him. I said we are playing the same game. We are not playing League of Legends where only one player lags and the games keep playing. Like Age of Mythology, the game where if someone is lagging, everyone will have the same lag. So,
Yes.
to be honest, it is just excuse for me.
Well, you gotta have an excuse when you lose like that.
No, about Kimo, he's a really good player, but when he's losing, he starts like saying it's laggy. He doesn't say it's laggy before or when he's winning. He just say it's laggy when he's losing.
Yeah.
That is the truth. Nobody says, but I will say it.
People used to say that when they played against me back in the olden days. Now, granted, I did have dial-up, so it might have been true. Might have been true. Let's see. What's your? I guess what's your thought on the tournament as a whole? So this is now Champions League season 2. I guess if we were to go forward to a season 3 at some point, is there anything you'd like to see like changed or added?
Mhm. Well, like choose tournaments. I think I have been playing Age of Mythology over 10 years, and like for the best tournaments, they were the best tournaments I have played because there's a lot of people doing streams. There's a lot of people helping. Like I sometimes I go on Discord and I see a lot of people who I actually don't know or I don't see them playing, and they are helping, posting games and everything. I think like just two past seasons were the best, where a lot of people and a lot of new good players that they came from Challengers League, and I think that's the best we had, the tournaments we had.
Would you have the same answer if you weren't talking to me?
No, I mean I would have the same. I would say the same thing because like I never played. No, actually, I would say same thing because there's a lot of people helping and doing things like boys. You like I see a lot of new streamers, like which I don't know, but they are trying to help like with the streams and everything.
No, and yeah, that was kind of the overall point of this is like for the tournament's always like in the past, where you have just like single elimination tournaments. You get like the middle to lower players who like it's kind of pointless for them to play because they're just gonna lose and then it's over.
Hmm.
And so that was kind of the design for this as far as having like a challengers league where you can have kind of the lower or medium skilled intermediate players playing against each other, then have like a bunch of important games, and then they have that chance to promote. So that was kind of like the underlying focus is like, and then also me and Boyd like to have like all of the new people, like new streamers come in and help, because I mean we want it to be like a community event where everybody gets to be involved and everybody gets to stream, and we try to shake it up and have some new streamers and stuff like that. So I thank you for your kind words. I think it's been pretty fun. I have enjoyed playing. I haven't advanced to the Champion League next, but there's still Season 3. We'll try then. I'll have to put myself in a worse division, I think.
No, you don't have to.
Yeah, I'm kind of I can set up the divisions. I'll just kind of I gotta set it up a certain way. Don Artie has a question. What's your question? If it's legit here, and I'll probably let you go in just a little bit. So when is Season 3? We're not sure yet. I mean, Boyd and I, these leagues are a lot of work now, and so we'll need a break in the summertime, and we'll be driving around. Oh, you don't have a question for the interview? Okay. Any other comments that you've got at all, Skady?
I would say, like, for every new player or players that are playing tournaments and they can't win or they think they are not good, everyone can win. Like, nobody is like you can't win. Everyone is winnable, and everyone can win. You just need to trust yourself and do what has to be done.
Yeah, no, and I like that, because I think too many players get a little too worked up when they lose or don't think they're good enough, and you just play your own game, get a little better. If you don't get better, well, then just remember it's just a game after all. There is a one-day tournament coming up this Saturday by MetaPlays. Are you going to sign up for that?
It's on Steam?
It's on the 5th, and it's just a one-day event.
But it will be played on Voobly or not?
Yes, it'll be played on Voobly.
Oh yes, I can definitely play it. And if it's on Steam, I wouldn't play because I don't like it's laggy and...
Yeah, it's on Voobly. It's on Saturday. It's supposed to be a one-day tournament, though, so it might take a little bit of time.
Well, but maybe if it was on Sunday, I would play because I'm stoppable on Sunday.
you were unstoppable today, apparently, on Sunday. So yeah, well done. I think that's all I got for you. I'll let you go. I really appreciate you jumping in for a little bit of a tournament, and I appreciate you playing all the games. Really, I mean, this season, as far as like an administrator, has been. I mean, this was phenomenal. Everybody played their games. I think. We had just, I mean, you didn't play against, did you not play against Kimo during the regular season so you could just utterly spank him in the finals? Is that what happened?
I don't know. I didn't play Kimo because like I was looking the schedule and I see he could play anytime, and I didn't schedule against him because he was playing Metros this weekend. Then I forgot to schedule with him, and I think I lost for admin win or something.
Yeah, well, we just did kind of an administrative tiebreaker where we decided he'd just be ahead of you since he won last season. But I don't know. I thought maybe you were like trying to keep your aggression in the bag, so then when you played him in the finals, you could just release it and he wouldn't be ready for it.
Well, can I ask something?
Oh, you can ask. I don't know if I'll answer, but go ahead.
Do that, but he couldn't. And I need to do something to do that. Like, can you play this song like for champion celebration?
Play this song. Okay, hold on. Let me see. What is it? Will it mute? The problem is if I play, this will be on. I guess I could maybe cut it off on YouTube. I don't know. Would it make?
Yeah, like no, I mean after you finish your when you're going to finish your YouTube recording, you can do that, so you won't have problems.
Okay, I don't know what this is. We'll figure it out. What's the worst they're gonna do? I don't know, Boyd. If you're in the chat, do you know if I just cut this off, will it still have problems for me later? What is this? Is this like your favorite song or what?
It's Ayrton Senna. You don't know him?
Uh-uh. I'm
How
not
you don't know him?
I'm not much of a like pop culture kind of a guy. Oh,
You need to Google it.
Tax has a question, real quick.
He was like Formula One driver, like he was the best of the world, and he died like ruining a race.
Oh no, I Formula One around here isn't. Uh,
And every time like Brazil wins, like they play this song for celebration.
oh, okay. Oh, Tax wants to know how much does it cost for Oranos lessons from you.
Man, for Oranos lessons, I will tell you what you need to do. When you're playing Oranos, you get a cough, you put your cat to play, and you can do anything. You don't need to play. You just key turma and make some villagers. That's what you need to do playing Oranos.
There you go.
There you go. That's how you play Oranos, man.
That's it. Just like that. Oh, T-Mac says if I play it on YouTube, I'm going to get my account banned. Well, I'll just link it, maybe. I don't want to... I've spent a lot of time getting my account set up here. Now, I don't know if... I've been hearing rumors that you have a YouTube account?
Yes, I do have.
Is that something you want to advertise, or are you keeping it on the down low?
I will keep in there the wow. But I have a lot of subscribers there, like almost like 10,000.
Oh man.
There almost.
Oh man. So you're gonna take Boyd over then, huh?
No, actually, maybe I have like I forgot how to say that. I think it's like 6,000 or 7,000,
Oh, okay.
something like that.
All right, well, that's pretty good. All right. Okay. Well, I think that's about all it. Unless you got anything else that you want to add.
No, I think it's it. Like, I think that's it.
All right. Well, I appreciate you joining in and taking the time to talk to me real quick. And congratulations on your victory in season number 2. You have bested King Kimo, and it's nice to see a new person standing on top of the podium.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
So congratulations. I'll let you go, and I appreciate your time. So take care. Have a good week, and stay safe and healthy.
You too.
All right. See you, man.
You too, man. See you.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for me. Oh, I see your question there in the chat, Tex. Yeah, so Scott's got this video, this music that he wants everyone to listen to. I have linked it in the chat. Apparently there is a lot of meaning behind it for Brazilians. So I have no idea about any of this, but there you go. Take a look at it. Take a listen for Skady. He won this tournament. He deserves it. So thanks everybody for watching tonight. I am going to tune it off. Someone wants to see his Aya versus Skady show match at some point. But yeah, so 3-0 would have been nice to see the 3-2, something like that. But hey, you're going to win, you're going to win. So appreciate the support, everyone. Appreciate everybody watching. There will be at some point, probably not tomorrow, but later this week, I will do the 3rd place match. Maybe tomorrow night, potentially. But it might have to wait. We'll see. We'll see. But yes, Raptor, you're late. I'm turning it off. So thanks everybody for watching. I will send you guys over to we'll send you over to Don Artie and see what's going on his channel. And that'll be it for me tonight. Been a great time. Catch you all another time. Don Artie, what is your account? I don't see it. I guess it's Don Artie. Are you streaming under age of mythology? But that's it. See you guys. Thanks for watching. It was a great season. Not quite done. Got one more match. And I'll catch all of you guys another time. See ya.